The basic 10th generation iPad is a pretty incredible device. It can do all of the iPad-like things that you'd want it to do for an amazing price. But with a new generation of iPad on the horizon, is the older iPad still worth it in 2025? Let's find out. But first, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Paperlike. Paperlike is the original paper feel screen protector that not only protects that beautiful new iPad screen, but also gives you an incredible paper-like texture that makes drawing digitally feel like you're drawing on actual paper. I'm an industrial designer, or at least I was before I went full-time on YouTube, and I'm constantly drawing. Whether that's new designs for my sock brand APTHCRY or just a cool pair of shoes, I love drawing all the time. For years, I was a die-hard drawing tablet guy. I just liked the texture of the tablet because it kind of felt like drawing on paper. But then I tried Paperlike for the first time, and I'm hooked. With Paperlike, you get an even more paper-like drawing experience than a drawing tablet, plus you get the full power of an iPad. In my opinion, it's really the best of both worlds. So I have a paper-like screen protector on this 10th generation iPad, and it feels incredible to draw on. You get the feel and the texture and even the sound of drawing on paper without compromising the visual quality of the iPad. If you draw on your iPad at all or just want a more paper-like experience, I definitely recommend checking out Paperlike. It will change the way that you draw on your iPad, and it also kind of reduces glare too, so it's great for watching videos and consuming media as well. So make sure to check out Paperlike through the link in the top of the description below. I absolutely recommend it. It is the best screen protector I've ever used. And once again, huge thank you to Paperlike for sponsoring today's video. The 10th generation iPad released back in 2022 for $449, which even at the time seemed like a bit much. However, in 2025, at least at the time of filming this video, it's still the latest base iPad, but Apple has dropped the price by $100 down to $349. But let's be honest, if you do a little bit of Google searching, you can find this iPad at places like Best Buy for even less. In fact, I bought this iPad for $279. Of course, I'll make sure to link it through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. If you want to grab this iPad, grab it for $279, not $349, because you can find it everywhere for that price. The 10th gen iPad comes in two different storage configurations, 64 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes. The 64 gigabyte one, of course, is the one that you can grab for $279, and if you want to upgrade to the 256, I think it's a step up of $150, at least on Apple's website. I'll be honest, 64 gigabytes is not a lot, but for a lot of people it will get the job done, so I think that's probably the way to go. You can also grab this iPad in either a Wi-Fi or cellular configuration, but I'll be honest, I don't know why you'd buy this iPad with a data plan. Just use your phone as a hotspot if you really need internet when you're not on Wi-Fi, but that's just my 2 cents. Maybe you do. I don't know. It's nice to have the option, I guess. This iPad also comes in 4 colors, silver, yellow, blue, and pink. I grabbed the blue one, and I think it looks awesome. Even though this iPad is almost 3 years old, I still think it feels pretty modern. It's got the new iPad Air style design with no home button and relatively thin bezels. Getting to the screen, it's 10.9-inch liquid retina display with the resolution of 2360 by 1640 and a PPI of 264. The display is actually a true tone display, which tries to match the warmth of the screen to the warmth of your environment. It gets up to 500 nits of brightness and features an oleophobic fingerprint-resistant coating, which is great, but I prefer my paper-like screen protector, just being honest. The screen honestly looks great, definitely one of the best, if not the best, in its price range. Now, obviously, if you step up to the iPad Pro, you're gonna get a significantly better visual experience, but we're talking about an extra $1,000 for that, so it's probably not worth it, especially if you're trying to save money. And I mean, to be honest with you, I have an iPad Pro, it looks great, but I mean, this is not that much worse. I mean, if you just had this, you wouldn't really even notice a difference. The colors are clear and bright, the resolution is really decent. I just think it's a great overall screen. The 10th gen iPad is a perfect media consumption tablet, great for watching Netflix, gaming, and even reading. Now, as far as power goes, it comes with a somewhat outdated, but still capable A14 Bionic chip, and I generally had no issues whatsoever running just about every app that I could throw at it. I mean, even more intensive, like online multiplayer games like Call of Duty, it did great with. Now, when it comes to cameras, you've got a 12 megapixel wide angle camera on the back that is capable of 4K recording. And on the front, you've got a landscape 12 megapixel center stage camera that is perfect for FaceTiming or video calls. Center stage is actually pretty cool. It follows your face around when you're on the move and keeps you centered. I really like it. I also love the fact that they moved the camera from the top of the device to the side of the device, making it a landscape camera. Now, I've got to be honest, I've never once used the rear camera on an iPad. Any iPad actually that I've ever owned, even for AR, it's just not something that I'd ever want to do. I'd say generally most people have significantly better cameras on their phones in their pocket than you've got on this iPad, so use those instead. Plus, you don't look like this when you're taking pictures at like landmarks or famous locations, because a lot of people do that and it's the worst. I guess one reason that you might use this camera is maybe you were buying an iPad for a kid who doesn't have a phone and wants to get into video making. That could be cool, but other than that, I almost just ignore it. The 10th generation iPad comes with Touch ID on the power button, which is a nice touch. Unfortunately, there's no Face ID though. Of course, you can use Touch ID to unlock your iPad or pay for apps, and it's pretty fast and works really well. Now, one thing I love about the iPad 10th gen is the fact that it's compatible with Apple Pencil. Specifically, the first generation, of course, you need an adapter for that, or the USB-C version. I went with the USB-C version personally. It's actually got a magnet, so you can put your USB-C Apple Pencil on the side like this. It won't charge it, but it's nice for storage, I guess. The drawing experience on this tablet, especially with a paper-like screen protector, is excellent. It's very smooth. It's genuinely one of the best digital drawing experiences out there, especially for the price point. Another great addition about the iPad 10th Gen that some people may not know about is the USB-C port. Obviously, they switched from Lightning to USB-C, and this USB-C port is so much more capable. First of all, it's easier to find a charge cable now because everything uses USB-C, and it's also capable of digital video out and video mirroring, which essentially means you can grab an HDMI adapter and plug this into an external monitor or a TV and play videos or just work on it. It's a super useful feature. And with the USB-C, you can also plug in accessories like solid-state drives. It really opens up the possibilities of this tablet a lot. Now, when it comes to battery life, it's pretty solid. Apple claims you can get about 10 hours of watching videos or surfing the web on Wi-Fi, and from my experience, that's about right. Now, obviously, that's with lower brightness and not doing any crazy gaming or anything like that, but generally, 10 hours is reasonable. 5 hours is realistic if you're really using this constantly. Now, again, because of the USB-C port, you can get 20-watt fast charging, which is fast-ish, but it should be fine if you're just charging this thing overnight. When it comes to OS, I'm currently running iPad OS, I think 18.1 something, and Apple is sure to keep this iPad updated for years to come, so I wouldn't be worried about the operating system on this iPad. The 10th generation iPad in 2025 is still an incredibly capable media device, and at the current price point is an excellent buy. Even with the 11th generation on the horizon, I can almost guarantee that the price won't be as good, and honestly, the updates might be pretty minor, at least from what I'm hearing. In my opinion, if you're looking for an iPad to do general iPad-like things, it's very hard for me not to recommend a 10th generation iPad. I would say this iPad is absolutely worth it in 2025. But hey, if you made it to this point in the video, let me know what you think of the iPad 10th generation, whether you own one, whether you're considering grabbing one. Let me know all those thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next one.